Chris Harris, give me a 2021 bust. Who's on your bust list?
Bust list. I'll probably start with Myles Gaskin. You and I share a brain on that one. I'm pretty sure we've had a little Myles Gaskin interaction on Twitter. I just don't think he's all that different from Salvon Ahmed. I think the notion that it's some sort of one backfield and there's a big difference between the three of the Dolphins running backs is wrong. I'm not trying to tell you that Salvon Ahmed should be drafted ahead of Myles Gaskin. It's just that he's in the 15th round and Gaskin. Where did Gaskin go in this draft we did today? You'd probably remember better than I do, but it was early.
I wish I wasn't in the draft, but I'm guessing he went around the 4 or 5 turn. I'll tell you right.
I think 4 is where he went.
No, he went at 38th overall to Jamie. So pick of round 4.
Second pick of round 4. Yeah. So I don't see a big difference there, and I don't think that there's some ordained target. People all they want to do is carve up a piece of pie, and I don't think we can do that on a team that doesn't really have all that good of a running game. I think he's fine. He's a good third down back on a different team. He's not on a feature back. Just skills wise, it's just not who he is. So I'll be pretty surprised if Myles Gaskin winds up as an RB2 this year.
Yeah, if you break up running backs into different types, the veteran who is projected for a big role but nobody actually thinks is all that good is probably the least profitable archetype at running back. And my thing with Myles Gaskin is if you want a Myles Gaskin type, just wait until either Mike Davis or Myles Gaskin gets drafted and take the next one later. Because I think they're very similar situations. I think they're very similar players. I don't think either is all that good, so there's a chance they just lose their job. But they could be good if they keep the role. Yeah. It's just, there's a lot of bust potential there for sure.
So I think Mike Davis is a much better football player than Myles Gaskin. I think Mike Davis just do more things. He's a stronger guy. He's a thicker guy. He can win on the goal line. He can catch just as well as Gaskin can. Gaskin strikes me as, like I said, the Ravens would love to have Myles Gaskin right now to be the complement that they need for Gus Edwards. They don't have that guy, whether it's not going to be Justice Hill, right? So they would love to have a guy in space. Gaskin's great for that, but beyond that, I don't see it.
Give me another bust, Chris.
I'll go higher. I'll go Ekeler. Man, in a full PPR, I can live with the whatever turn. I can live with the 12, 13 in a full PPR. Even then, I don't love it. I have him 16. What are people doing taking Austin Ekeler in a standard league 13th or 14th? Totally deranged. Completely wish casting based on 4 games. Austin Ekeler came back after the injury last year, so all those people want to take those 4 games and turn them into the full season. I'll just go ahead and take the second half of the season. When I guess you argue maybe he wasn't right, but I completely don't think he's a full-time running back. I think it's going to be a big mishmash. He's gonna get to 1,300 yards from scrimmage. He'll have a bunch of catches, 100 catches. So there's a lot to like him in PPR, but absolutely not taking him ahead of Antonio Gibson or Joe Mixon or what are you, Najee Harris? What are you people doing?
So I've got 2 things to say. One, wouldn't be the first time I've been called deranged. I'm at peace with that. Second, the big thing for me with Austin Ekeler is if you go back since targets were starting to be tracked, I think it's 91 or 92, I believe he is the most efficient running back on a per target basis with at least 250 targets for his career. He's much more efficient than someone like Alvin Kamara. He has a much higher touchdown rate than Alvin Kamara, actually. I think for his career, he's got a 6% touchdown rate on his targets. So I just think
if only he were good. If only he were as good as Alvin Kamara. I wish if he was just as good a player.
I do have him
really
ranked,
should be
7.
He should be real good. If he's going to be drafted at 13, he should be real good.
I think he's an elite receiver. And so the question is, can he be, if he can get to 700-800 yards rushing, I think he's probably going to be worth that first round pick.
I think he's going to break if he gets to 700 or 800 yards rushing because I just saw it happen.
That might happen.
Chris, let's. It's such a negative note here. Give me another bust.
How many do you need there, Adam?
One more, or you can give me a sleeper or a breakout. Maybe you want to turn it positive here.
Let's see, another bust. I'm usually not drafting Adam Thielen. I just feel like Justin Jefferson is we're living a little bit in the past. And listen, Thielen was my number 10 receiver last year. I made a lot of money on Thielen last year, but Justin Jefferson's just the truth, is going to be one of the 5 best receivers in the league in a couple of years. And I don't like the argument that says touchdown regression, because Adam Thielen's been making big touchdown seasons 3 of the last 4 years. It's sort of what he does. It's a feature, not a bug. So he's probably got end zone shots taken his way. He's really good at it. He's still a fast guy, but 31 and just a far superior receiver. On his team, I just never wind up getting him. And the first 2 that I mentioned, I feel like those guys have the potential to really flop relative to where they were drafted. And Thielen, I'm not outraged about his draft position. It's just a lot of receivers I wound up taking ahead of him because I like Jefferson so much.
I do think just the fact that he's 31, I mean, you're in the territory where wide receivers historically tend to fall off. And I think we saw that a little bit last season, especially in the second half. And I do think there's a chance that he kind of just loses it this year. I'm not saying he won't be useful, but he might become even more touchdown dependent than he was last season. And that'll make it hard. I mean, he was wide receiver 6 last season, right? Something like that. So, yeah, I think he could be like wide receiver 20, but it'll take a lot of touchdowns.
Want more of the Fantasy Football Today podcast and nonstop year-round fantasy advice? It's simple. Hit the subscribe button and hang with us all throughout the year.